a child's job, their sole employment is to play. And so as a parent, we should allow a child to play. A child needs to explore, let them explore. A child needs to run, let them run. A child needs to yell, let them yell. They're basically, the whole point of playing is to exercise all the different attributes that a human has. And they're trying to test their limits. They're trying to see what they can do, seeing what their bodies are capable of. The rod of correction is there to keep them out of hell. It says, thou shalt deliver his soul from hell. That hell is Sheol. Okay, so basically, withhold not correction from the child, for thou beatest the rod, he shall not die. This is not saying I'm going to beat the child to near death. This is saying I'm going to teach this child that if you do this thing, it will kill you. This is to reinforce the fact that you should not be doing this dangerous thing. Okay? Thou shalt beat him with the rod, and they shall deliver his soul from hell. That means that if I discipline my child, he will realize, or she will realize, that what she was doing was dangerous. Okay? This thing is going to hurt her. And this way, I am in control of it hurting her, instead of it hurting her and possibly taking her life. I think Proverbs 23:13, when read like that, you start to understand the whole point of correction. That whole physical discipline, the whole corporal punishment aspect is there to preserve their life. It's there to show them what is dangerous and what is not. So that way they don't put themselves in hazardous situations. You never, ever, ever should hit your child when you're angry. If you're angry and you hit your child, you're not hitting your child for their own safety. You're hitting your child because you're angry. Okay? If you don't have your emotions in check when you are disciplining your child, you should not be disciplining your child. You need to take 10 seconds, wait, calm down, breathe through it, see if it was an important situation, and then discipline. If your blood is up, if you're angry, you're mad, parents need to go in a timeout. This is not a time for you to be reacting rashly. Children need to be corrected. They need to give reproof. They don't know how the world works. We're adults. We have been around the block many, many times. We know how the world works. We know what the dangers are. We know what the shortcuts are. We know how to get things done. And so reproof is there to say, hey, maybe you don't want to do it this way. Let's try this way. And correction is, you cannot do it that way. That's too dangerous. We have to be those examples. And children they can't reason. I mean, as they get older, they get better at reasoning. But foolishness is bound in the heart of a child. A child will act like a fool. And it's defined multiple times in Proverbs what a fool acts like. And you can't fault a child for being a fool. They're just foolish. They're children. That's kind of that part and parcel to being a child. So you can't reason with children. You can try, and if they can hear you, that's great. If they can't hear you, then you need to just say, listen, my way or the highway, and if you want to go your way, then we're going to have to bring in the correction. We're going to have to bring in the reproof, because this is not going to happen. This is not going to work. So you should never, ever hit your child out of anger. You should never hit your child to do injury. And it should not be used for any, you won't pick up your toys, then you don't spank for not picking up toys. You just don't. You're like, okay, time out. We'll be in timeout until you're done, and then when you're done being in timeout, then you pick up your toys. If you don't want to pick up your toys, you stay in timeout. The toys will be there when you're done. And eventually that kid will do it. You use the rod of correction when their life is in danger. If they don't understand the perils that exist within the world around them, the only way they're going to understand that is if you imbue some sort of physical pain on them so that they know that maybe this thing doesn't hurt them, but Daddy will hurt them if they go near this thing. And when they get old enough, they'll realize why. Oh, I know why Dad spanked me, because if I would have done that, I could have killed myself. Okay, so children are children, and I love children. I think they're phenomenal, but it says in Scripture unindelibly that we have to use the rod of correction. And that rod of correction is for their own good, because they're not going to see the hazards in the world around them. They just don't. They're foolish. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that to your attention. I hope this blesses you. This is the Heretic. I'm sure I'm going to catch a lot of flack for this, but this is the Heretic sending out. Peace.